That was SNL's impression of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, confidently talking about the marriage equality case pending before the court. A decision on that case could come any day now. The court will decide whether to A, leave the law basically as it is. 37 states currently allow same-sex marriage while it's banned in the other 13, or B, force those 13 states to recognize same-sex marriages performed in other states, or C, establish it as the law in all 50 states. Now, no one knows what the court will do, but the real Ruth Bader Ginsburg offered some clues this weekend. Supreme Court justices rarely speak about pending cases, but at a legal conference on Saturday, she offered some fascinating analysis into the overall progress that gay Americans have been making in our society.
When gay people began to stand up and say, "This is who I am," when that happened, people looked around, and it was my next-door neighbor, of whom I was very fond, my child's best friend, even my child.
Ginsburg is viewed as a champion of both gay rights and racial minorities on the court, and she tackled the question of why our society has moved towards marriage equality so much faster than many aspects of racial equality. For example, the national debate over racial intermarriage began in earnest in the 1950s, yet it wasn't fully legalized until 1967 and took a total of 40 years for even a majority of Americans to say it was acceptable. By contrast, it only took about 10 years for a majority to say gay marriage is okay, and Americans reached that view before it has been fully legalized by the High Court. Now, why the difference? Ginsburg says that in contrast to race, our nation is already integrated when it comes to sexuality.
There's this we-they picture when it comes to race, but for gay people, once we find out that they are people we know and we love and we respect, and they are part of us, I think that's what accounts for the difference. As during the years when gay people hid who they were, there was a kind of discrimination that began to break down very rapidly once they no longer hid in a corner or in a closet.
In her remarks, Ginsburg went on to argue that the court rarely gets too far ahead of public opinion. Instead, she argues it advances principles within what the public is ready for. So by the Ginsburg standard, one could expect a ruling for national marriage equality in the coming days. But as always, we do have to wait to hear the decision and what the other 8 justices have to say.